Rowdy crowd happening here today too, eh?
Got once a month.
And really thrilled to be joined by Jason MacDonald. Jason, our candidate for Ottawa South, and given help me get a hello run for his money, I'm looking forward to welcoming you to Queen's Park as the next MPP for Ottawa South. And Lily Albina, thank you very much for taking the time, Lily, to join us. You're an Ottawa South resident. Yeah. Good. Now let me ask you, what do you like about Jason MacDonald? Why do you want to see him as your next MPP?
I think what I want to see my tax code. I don't want to have people who hiking it. I don't trust that we will not hike my taxes, so I'm really afraid of that.
Why don't you trust all of it?
He's done it tonight. He's done it tonight. And every time he says he's not going to do it, he does it. So that's why I want to support people like this.
So when you see Dalton McGuinty on TV saying, this time I won't raise your taxes, this time I really mean it.
He did it before. He did it before many times, and with a smile. And looking very nice and, believable. But it didn't happen. So, and our hydro bills are high. Everything is high. The high cost of living is really hurting us.
One thing I'm worried about too is if the Liberals and the NDP get together in some kind of coalition, what that's going to mean for tax hikes. Because the NDP has a 50-year history of calling for tax hikes, and they're already out there saying they're going to put taxes on businesses in a province. And at a time that we're facing some tough economic circumstances, why in the world do you increase taxes on families or on employers in the province and beyond?
We need to be saving more. We need to be giving more so that we keep ourselves and our families. I haven't reached my own. I don't know what the future is going to be like. It's not.
8-year-old boy or girl? What's his name?
Keith.
Keith?
Keith Gatcher.
Yeah, great name.
Yeah.
What grade is he in then?
He's in grade.
And how's he enjoyed the start of grade 3?
He loves it.
Good.
He loves it. But it's not for us to take care of it.
When I was in grade 3, I had a nun named Sister Emily. And I swear she was already like 8 years old, she was tough. She kept us in line. I made sure I knew all my spelling for the spelling flashcards every week. Wish your son all the best. Carol and Donnie, tell me a bit about business and how can we help small businesses. One of our plans is to just put more money back in the pockets of average, hardworking Ottawa families. Take the HST off heat and hydro, take the debt retirement charge off their hospital.
Absolutely. We get the taxes reduced, and all that is part of business. So bills are hard enough to pay as it is without having everything added every 6, 7, 8 months every year. It's crazy. You struggle every 2 months to pay your hydro bill, which is now increased by another $200 or $300. Where does that $200 or $300 come from? We've got to increase our menu prices that comes from our customers, and then it's a burden on all of us. So it is really hard, and it has been for the past 7 years. The first 3 or 4 years was a big struggle in business, and then when the extra taxes came out and HST came in, it made it even twice as hard to get in. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you get in and becoming the next premier of Ontario, so that the business will improve and things will be a lot better for us to manage our business.
It's a huge domino effect, right? As soon as you raise taxes, small businesses suffer, then our customers suffer. And then, if we raise our prices, then we lose our customers. But the taxes are still there, but the income isn't coming in for us. So it's a huge struggle, and then you have to look at borrowing money personally, just to keep afloat because of all these taxes.
And you're in a tough business, and this is a highly competitive business. Long hours. I don't imagine you've got vacation time.
I haven't had a vacation in probably 20 years.
We need a vacation.
And the problem is, like you said, if you raise your prices, people just go down the road. Because the first thing to go when people get taxed to death or the hydro bills go through the roof is they stop going out for meals, not taking the family out for the brunch on Sunday morning. We've seen that.
It hurts everyone's budget. It really does. We're the type of restaurant where our menu prices are based on where you can come here maybe once or twice, 3 times, 4 times a week. We're not in the big tax price or the bigger price restaurants where you visit once a year, an anniversary or birthday, and it's a special occasion. So we price our menu accordingly so that it's comfortable for people to come here. We have a lot of seniors that come here twice a day. It's cheaper for them to eat here than it is at home. But we have to hike up our prices in order to pay the taxes, it's a more burden on them because they're not making any more money. I don't think Dalton's given any more money as far as their fixed income is producing. So, and now we've got to ask more money from them for a breakfast or a lunch or a dinner or a cup of coffee or whatever the case may be. And it's just not fair to the Ontario people that are working really hard to afford to go out and eat and to support us business people in these type of industries.
So you heard Lily's answer. She says she sees Dalton McGuinty on TV smiling, saying he won't increase your taxes. What does that make you feel?
It makes me giggle.
What do you
It makes me giggle. Like,
You're a happy person, all in all.
how can you honestly sit there and smile in the camera and lie to people that you want their votes, but you're lying. You know, it's been done, like Lily said, it's been done over and over and over and over again, empty promises. You know, we won't raise your taxes. I promise I won't raise your taxes. There's a promise, and then he breaks it. So, you know, empty promises don't go very far.
You think he'll break his promise again and increase taxes? You worry too, there's a lot of speculation that the Liberals and the NDP will get together in a coalition government or Liberals propped up by the NDP. Are you worried about the impact of that on small business?
Well, it's just going to increase the taxes again. The money's going to come from somewhere with all these messages that are coming across and all these deals that are trying to do.
Actually, they both need to be the same. They both have the same philosophy of high taxes. So if they're together, you know, there's nobody who can put the other one down. They will all be agreed and actually pay the price in the long run. So I think that people should vote conservative so that we have some people there who can balance the equation and bring some common sense so that we don't have unlimited amount of money. So we should think that we should be able to treat our governments the same way we treat our families. You know, you don't go buy things that you cannot afford. So we should bring that mentality there and have to bring mentality to creating jobs, for cutting taxes, for businesses. So I think that's the right platform for, and that's what I would do. And the PCs are just not going to bring that.
Jason, what are you hearing when you're going around doors, stopping by small businesses?
I've been now knocking on doors since February. Knocking on 30,000 doors. Here this whole person. Constantly to people need a break. And they don't believe it's anything. Like I said, they say I'm usually liberal, but not this time.
And the NDP is saying that they're changed, but they're really just more of the same. It increased taxes. Government spending. At least they're honest about increasing taxes.
So we know they're going to increase taxes. Why vote for them? Yeah, so at least they're honest. They put it out.
And you're worried about the Liberals and the NDP getting together?
Big time. Big time. I think it's a big problem. If that happens, we have a bigger problem.
Well, I want to say thank you very much. I'm going to say a few words here and we can continue our chat. But to Carol and Don, thank you very much for having us here at Mooney's today. Really appreciate it. And I want to say thanks for the bread that you put on the table for many families in this province. It seems like every time government comes by, it's usually with their hand out to take more money out of your pocket. I want to say on behalf of Jason and myself, thank you for the work that you put in, the customers that you serve, and the people that you employ here in the province of Ontario. I just want to work with you to see more in the time ahead. And Lily, thank you very much for your words today. I think you speak for a lot of average folks that are concerned about taxes, hydro bills, and what it'll mean if Dalton McGuinty gets re-elected or if Dalton McGuinty gets propped up by the NDP. I think we all know that means more taxes, bigger government, and fewer jobs in Ontario. Life will get a lot more expensive. So folks, I want to say thank you for coming. I'm going to say a few words and then we'll be glad to take any questions that you may have. You know, it's great to be here at Mooney's, a small business in the Ottawa area. Obviously doing a great job, a lot of dedicated customers that keep coming in the doors. But families have fewer and fewer dollars in their pockets after all the Dalton McGuinty tax hikes and hydro rate increases, the loss of jobs, and one of the first things to go is taking the family out for a meal. I want to turn things around. That's why Jason MacDonald and I, the PC team, will give families relief. We'll take the HST off heat and hydro and take the debt retirement charge off the hydro bill as well. And we'll go a step further. We'll bring in income tax reductions and income sharing targeted particularly at middle-class families. because under Dalton McGuinty, the middle class is being hollowed out. When they have the confidence to spend more customers here in Mooney's, that'll help us create jobs in Ottawa and across the province. What I worry about today, 48 hours out from the election campaign, coming to an end, is will Dalton McGuinty afford to do with the NDP to increase our taxes? We all know Dalton McGuinty's pattern of behavior. He looks into the camera and he says, I won't increase your taxes. But then he breaks that promise once he's elected over and over again. And he's the king of excuses. He always looks for an excuse to raise taxes. Before he said it was the deficit. Then he said it was the recession. I mean, he even said the HST is not a tax increase, it's simply a restructuring was what he said. I don't think anybody believes that. And we know where Dalton McGuinty is going today. Dalton McGuinty is trying to position himself to blame the NDP so he can increase taxes again. We saw in Nova Scotia when the NDP got in government, they increased the HST by 2 points. Is that Dalton McGuinty's plan? Families in Ontario can't afford it. Is it a carbon tax? Well, the bottom line is, we know Dalton McGuinty is going to increase taxes, and his plan is to blame the NDP. Say they forced his hand. Well, I have a solution today. Under a PC government, we will not increase taxes. In fact, we'll give families relief. Just over a week ago, I signed the Taxpayer Protection Act. I made a pledge that I would not increase taxes, and I outlined our plans for tax relief for families, taking the HST off heat and hydro, and income tax savings for middle-class families. Today I'm going a step further, and I want Dalton McGuinty to sign this exact same pledge. So let me be clear. A PC government will not increase taxes, nor will we support any tax increase proposed by any other party. Never. Won't consider it for a second. But we all know Dalton McGuinty will. So I want Dalton McGuinty to stand up today, to sign this very same pledge, and to say that he won't increase taxes under any circumstances. He won't use the NDP as an excuse. He won't sign some deal with the NDP in the back room to increase the HST, bring in a carbon tax, whatever. Families can't afford any more taxes. And Dalton McGuinty needs to come clean today to say he won't support any tax increases by the NDP. Can't afford it. Because frankly, we can't afford 4 more years of Dalton McGuinty. And we certainly cannot afford 4 more years of Dalton McGuinty propped up by the NDP. Thanks very much. Glad to take it. You know what? I'll leave this as well with Carol and Don. You can put it up here in the restaurant. That's my pledge. To say we will not increase taxes, nor would we ever support any party's plan to increase taxes. We'll see if Dalton McGuinty will sign the same and drop it off here at Mooney's. I bet he won't show up through the door. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tim, yesterday morning.